In 1980, the astronomer Carl Sagan delivered one of the most transformative scientific ideas of all time when he said,
"We're made of star stuff."
That our flesh and bones are made in the bellies of stars can justifiably bring a tingle to the spine of any body that contemplates that fact. But what most people overlook is what he says immediately after that famous sentence. Listen again.
"We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself."
I think the difference between these two utterances represents the difference between human extinction and flourishing. In this series of short clips, I explain how identifying with the first sentence ultimately leads to suffering, while identifying with the second can bring you lifelong happiness, and potentially get humanity out of this mess that we find ourselves in. So that's the concept. In that half a second between those two sentences, that is the paradigm shift that represents basically everything that Ian McGilchrist is talking about.
Let's say you're a real hardline materialist. You don't believe there's anything but matter. Then look at this. After a few million years, matter gives rise to Bach's St. John's Passion. How the F did that happen? And I believe that the divide, this Cartesian divide between mind and matter, is part of the problem.
The first half of this binary that we're talking about, we are star stuff, that is a materialist statement. It is saying we are the stuff of stars. Our bodies are made of the stuff of stars. That is a powerful materialist statement. The second statement is grounded not in the material, but in the known. It's more in the realm of thought, right? It's what can be known, conceptualized. Concepts versus matter. Well, what we now know through science is that matter is not primary in the universe. There was a time when we thought it was. When science first started to really get a foothold in the history of Western thought, we thought matter was primary. The molecule, the atom, the nucleus, the particle. That's the reigning paradigm which made sense when science really started. That's the materialist paradigm, that matter came first and consciousness, thought, emerged from matter. But as we continue to look at matter deeper and deeper and deeper, we begin to realize that atoms aren't really particulate. They are expressions of the relationships between not even particles, but things that are more like waves.
Watch what happens. Like right there. Watch. Right there. Right where those two waves meet. This thing happens. Oh, there it is. Suddenly it'll like take off.
Or packets of energy. They're not, in fact, matter as we experience it in the world. That actually matter is more primarily something other than matter, namely relationships and the structuring of information. So it turns out that in fact, matter is not primary. Matter is this kind of intermediate illusory phase. The earliest universe was not matter at all. It was energy in relationship with other energy. The implicate order of the universe is not material. The plasma of the early universe was actually something more akin to thought than matter. See, we had it wrong. Like it was like this adolescent period where the way you think the world is just wrong, which is common in adolescent life. You think the world is the way it is until you mature and realize, no, it's actually a different. So it turns out that the materialist worldview was wrong. In fact, what's more primary than matter, what's more fundamental, what's more primitive, meaning primary before, is relationship. And something that maps even better onto what we now think of as consciousness. So in fact, the precursors to consciousness are actually a better description of reality than matter. Okay, so now going back to Sagan's statement.
We're made of star stuff.
That is a adolescent statement about our understanding of the cosmos. And in fact, his second statement,
we are a way for the cosmos to know itself,
gets closer to a more holistic understanding of the cosmos, which is that in fact, complexity, the complexity that we are, and the complex world that we inhabit is actually a manifestation of how the cosmos comes to know itself. That's what we are. Our bodies, they are star stuff, but that is secondary to the fact that we are vehicles for the cosmos to know itself, to inhabit a dimension of consciousness such that we can know ourselves as the cosmos. I don't know why that doesn't trigger a paradigm shift and a transformative state. That is a psychedelic idea. To shift one's framing, one's source of identification from the material body to the realm of relationships and energy and information in relationship. That is the more widely distributed and ancient and more universal state of the cosmos than what we currently inhabit. And so to hold on to this tiny little fractional state of matter and to emphasize it and to worship it and to fetishize the material state over this other relational state, it seems imbecilic. It's hard to show people that if the emphasis is on the word no and not on the word self. I feel like I'm trying to show them something that they've never experienced, that they've never felt, that they can't know because they only know a certain way of knowing. It's this move to identify with the consciousness aspects of the universe as opposed to the material aspects of the universe that is what this whole thing is about. This is what the paradigm shift of the beautiful future requires, is that we start to identify with the more primary consciousness aspects of the universe as opposed to the purely material aspects of the universe. And along with that move comes a whole menu of benefits.